Hey everyone, it's Kenny with Advanced Network Solutions here to talk to you again today. We're an IT service provider located outside of the Gerald, Missouri area. And today we are going to just be kind of wrapping up the segment on Wi-Fi, and we're going to talk about something I've kind of alluded to throughout the entire process of getting the most out of your Wi-Fi, and that is channel selection. How to set the channels on your wireless routers and your devices, or well, your wireless routers, so that you're not getting interference from other devices like microwave ovens, cordless phones, and anything else operating in those 2.4 gigahertz frequencies, or even in the 5 gigahertz frequency. We'll show you how to scan the channels in your home and find the best channels to set your routers to, so that you're not getting interference from those other devices. And the first thing that we're going to do is show you how to download an app onto your phone that will help you scan Wi-Fi for signal strength, as well as look at the channels to find the best channel for your house. And you're going to go to, I'm going to use an Android phone to do that because that's what I have. And so you're just going to go to the Google Play Store here, and you're going to type in Wi-Fi Analyzer, and a couple of these solutions are going to pop up. I suggest the one from Farproc, or this one right below it here. And I'm going to open up the one from VREM Software Development. Now, once our Wi-Fi analyzer opens up, we're going to go up here to the upper left-hand corner and select the menu tab, and from there we're going to check or select channel rating, and then you're going to see this list of all the available channels here on the 2.4 gigahertz band, and you can tap up there at the top on the 5 gigahertz frequency, and that's going to show you all the channels. There's a longer list in there of all the channels in the 5 gigahertz range. But now, coming back here, I'm just going to select the 2.4 gigahertz, and I want to go over something with you here a little bit. You see this range here from channels 2 through 8 that have a 2-star rating. When you go through and you do this, make sure that you turn off all of the wireless devices in your houses and everything, because the reason these have a 2-star rating is it's scanning for devices. As you see, this list over here on the right hand side says access point count. These are the devices on those channels. So it's not really interference that I'm seeing here. What it is the devices already on my network that I'm scanning to find a home for. They're on, and they're taking up those ranges, and that's why it's saying, if you know, it's assuming that you're setting your network up from scratch, when in reality mine is already set up. If I were to shut those devices off, which I did just to kind of show you what happens, you'll see here that now I have what is that, like 10 stars? I have perfect rating all the way across the board. That's because those were actually my devices running in that range. It's not that those were actually bad ranges. So that's something to just kind of keep in mind. If you've got wireless devices on, and try to think of everything in your house that runs on Wi-Fi, like someone's got laptops on, you got to shut your router off. My Google Chromecasts were on some of those channels. Those devices, you want those off if you're trying to find out if that channel has a bad rating because you've got devices on it, or if that channel has a bad rating because there's really interference on that channel. You need to shut your devices off so you can see the difference. If it's one of your devices, if all your devices are on, you can't tell if that's a device or if it's actually interference. There's no way to really see that here. So shut everything that runs on wireless off before you run this test, and then you'll see what's really interfering on certain channels. And as you can see, mine looks pretty clean. That's because I live way out in the country on about 280 plus acres here, so there's not really anyone around sharing channels with me. With, like, if you've got neighbors, they've got routers in their houses, their signal, if you're in apartment complexes, they're bleeding over into your apartment. That's really what you want to kind of check here for. So shut your devices off before you run this test, and that will help you see if you're seeing interference or if you're just seeing your devices when you're checking this rating. Now we're going to go ahead and log into our routers, and if you remember how I showed you how to do that in an earlier video, if you don't know what your router's IP address is, again, run cmd. That's going to open command prompt. You're going to type in ipconfig. It's going to show your ipconfig settings for your computer, and it's more than likely going to be the default gateway of your PC. That is going to be more than likely the IP address of your router. So then you're going to open up a web browser here. You're going to type in that default gateway address, which is actually your router's internal IP address. And then we're going to log in. And again, as I always say, this is where you're going to have to play around a little bit. Your router web interface is probably going to look a little bit different than mine, or a lot different than mine, depending on the brand. They always look different. Even if I go to another Linksys router that's a different model number, these interfaces, I don't know why, but no company designs any other interfaces, even across different models, to look the same. It's kind of annoying, but it's probably going to be under anything to do with your wireless settings. So that's what you want to look for, is wireless settings. And you can see our stuff is right here: channel width, and channel is set to auto. That's what we're going to edit. So I'm going to come up here to edit on the 2.4 gigahertz frequency, and depending on whichever channel you had that had the best rating, you're going to select that channel from here. You'll click apply. Channel width, if you're seeing that's 20 megahertz. That's that's each channel is 20 megahertz. Just leave that set to auto. And then you can come in here and edit your 5 gigahertz frequency. If you remember having a frequency on your 5 gigahertz that was particularly had a good rating, or didn't have any interference on it, you can go ahead. Now you can look on mine. Some routers you'll get a little bit more to choose from in your channels here. It looks like it's skipping about every 4 channels. That's just so I definitely have some separation. There's not like walls really between channels. It's just a slight variation in frequency. So the reason it's giving me every 4 channels is because that's enough separation that if there is, say, interference on channel 36, don't select 37, because you can get interference bleeding over onto channel 37. You want channel 40, because really what this is, when they say 5.8 gigahertz, you can really see what's happening here is you're really at 5.18 gigahertz. Channel 40 is really at 5.2 gigahertz. 44 is 5.22 gigahertz. So what you're doing is you're separating the frequency out enough to where you're not getting any bleed over from those frequencies that have interference on them. That's why it's skipping about 4 channels here. So you would set those anyways. I'm going to leave mine back to auto. You would just hit apply. And I didn't really change anything. Okay, I'll change something. Then hit apply. Yada, yada, yada. Disconnect warning. It's going to tell me that I'm going to disconnect. I'm not really going to do this. I'm going to click no, but and then you would just hit OK. And that's how you edit channels on your wireless routers. So that's the deal with that. That is how you select channels and set those for your devices and your Wi-Fi in your house. And that pretty much wraps up our tutorials on Wi-Fi. We'll move on to something else next week, maybe do some online or some product demonstrations or reviews or something like that. We'll come up with something for you guys. Or if you have suggestions, again, email us, leave comments below, and we'll take a look at those and get back to you guys. Thanks for watching our channel. Have a great day, guys.